a few new things. Got a new camera. Got new lights. So let's see how these are. Oh, that one flashes. I'm thinking I might put it behind me on the strobe light. And just like a regular one. I feel like even just having this camera, I don't know if it's because it's not as bright out today, but it definitely does help. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to put this on the tripod and kind of see. Ooh, I like this one. Cool. It's charging it. Okay. Good. Hello, humans. I'm really sad because I got this book, Good Vibes, Good Life, because it looks really good. And it came, and it's still wet. I don't know if you can see that, right? It came dripping wet, like dripping wet. Not just like a little wet, but dripping wet from Amazon. And I mean, of course, they're about reviews and shit, but I'm like, oh, I was going to this and like highlight good parts that I like about it. But I also did order Greenlight journal, and I haven't read the book that he does. And apparently, the book isn't like a biography or a self-help book. It's kind of him compiling his journals, so kind of a biography, but you know, kind of telling it from his point of view and stuff. But apparently this journal is really good. So it's the green journal. I'll link it below if you have any interest in it. I was going to go through it with you guys. I feel like mental health is really important. Oh, I like that. Oh, is there there's a pocket. I don't know what that's for yet. But right here, draw blood. I came here alone to write. I knew blood would be drawn. It was. My heart was poured more through my veins than ever before. Interesting. And basically, you're gonna write like your story. So this is my journal. My story has a little intro here. I do like that he puts like sometimes his own writings from his own journals actually in here. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this with you guys. Tell a love story about your family. I don't know, like if you're just supposed to start from the beginning, you just start writing. I don't know if it matters. I like this. There's little quotes and stuff in here though. So truth's like a jalapeno or jalapeno, however you say it. How do you say it? The closer you to the roots, the hotter it gets. Okay, I like that. Is it what I want and what I need? Need versus wants. Okay. And I mean, this is just supposed to help in where you can pour yourself into this and be honest with yourself. And a lot of people I know will want to like keep this for themselves and not share it with anyone else, and that's fine. But I'm going to be open, and I'm gonna do a few things on here. I wish I had another camera. I would like, point it down while I wrote. I have terrible handwriting, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to be open and honest, and the fact that I am doing it and sharing it with the world means that I'm you guys as my accountability, right? Yes. The answer is yes. A quick post live. Okay. I should have done this before, but I'm not. I didn't think about it. The gets to edit this, me. Okay. Green light journal. And coffee. If you guys haven't had that bulletproof coffee, damn, that's good. Like, holy shit. Like, I've tried a lot of coffee. Holy fuck, this one is smooth. Not affiliated or anything. I just like it. Of course, with the bendy straw. Sorry, it's a swirly straw. It's got Ron from Harry Potter. Okay. All right. Since I can't highlight my good vibes, good life book, I'm going to do this. Okay, let's see. Try to find one that I want to write now. What's a truth you know, a truth you've seen, and a truth you tell? What is a truth you live by? That's deep because it's like I think everyone's truth is different. Like you can scientifically prove something, yes. But everyone has a different perspective of everything and everyone. Damn, that's good coffee. And everyone has a different thing of what is right and what is wrong. What's a truth I live by? I don't know. I want to say live every day to the fullest but I don't. I don't live by that. My truth that I live by right now, I struggle. I do. I definitely struggle. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and if it's worth it. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I don't know. Let's skip that one for now. Rites of passage. Rite of passage. Knowing who we are is hard. The process of elimination is the first step. I would agree with that. Who am I not? I'm gonna say I am not selfish, but I can be selfish on certain things that I feel like are important to me. I definitely am open-minded. I can see two coins of like the side of both coins. Oh my gosh, my pen wants to work. Of course, it doesn't want to work when you want to. Oh, start with who I am not. That is I am. Maybe I should have a pencil because I might F this up quite a bit. I guess white out. What am I am not? Well, while I'm thinking about it. What am I not? I am not clean, if you can tell. But I wish to be better. I am not set in my ways. I am not as friendly as I can be, as I wish to be. I am good at what I love. I don't love all that I'm good at. That is true. What am I good at? Detective work. I am very good at laundry. That might seem silly, but no, I can like wrap things up into like a teeny tiny ball. Organizing. But I don't like to clean, but I love to organize. It's got to be the ADHD in me. I'm good at I'm good at self-sabotage. Yep, definitely good at that. And do I love what I do? I don't love. I'm gonna put I don't love. I need to like have different color of markers. I love my detective work. I like laundry. I love the organization part. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go on from there. Live what you believe. live the questions first, then what you believe. Then you have your own personal style. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Live what you believe. Live the questions first. Then what you believe, the changes. Then you have your style. Huh. I like that quote. And it asks, what is your personal style? Geeky. A little, let's see. I wouldn't say I'll put together. I like it when shit matches, but it doesn't always match. Are you a trust? Okay. Are you a trust first person or a trust last person? So, do you automatically trust everyone? And like, oh, hey, yeah, I trust you. Full on. Or are you more defensive? This one's hard because I feel like I have trusted and I am easily trustable. Like gullible. I'm easily gullible. And I want to trust people, but my trauma and my past, anxiety, all of that has a guard up. And I'm learning to try to deal with that. And I think that's why I don't really make friends. I don't really have a ton of friends, which is fine. You don't need to be friends with everyone and have a ton of friends. I have one close friend right now. But I would like to be able to make other people's days more enlightening and inviting. I would like to make a stranger's day happy. Simply by being me. So this question to me applies both. I trust people up front, and then as it progresses, I have my guard up. I personally think everyone does things because they believe it's right. I also have been through a lot of shit, and I know if you don't have your guard up sometimes, people will hurt you and take advantage. Trusting others a little more at hello, and you usually get a response like, you normally like, hello, how are you? That's normally what we get. And the acceptable response, or the response of society, says, you're supposed to say good. How about you? And you're supposed to respond with, good. Fuck that. If you're having a terrible ass day, say, you know what? No. My dog died last night, and I'm going through a really rough time right now. Some people will have their guard up to that and be like, oh, because it's unexpected. I'm sorry, and have no emotion. Like, just be like, oh, because they don't know how to respond. But then you get those people that are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I totally understand how it is. Like, my dog passed away like last year, and they are totally like family. Do you want to talk about it? That little bit of conversation can turn into a lifelong friendship. And I've personally been trying to do this. Not to say that it's always negative. I've been trying to, in my day, when people ask, how are you doing? And instead of saying, like, good, just hanging out at home. No, fuck that. Really think about it. And I sit there and I think about it. I'm like, you know, I'm doing okay. I'm doubting myself, though, because I got fired from my job a few months ago, and I'm trying to pursue my podcast as a full-time position. But I'm also scared to fail. The response has been either, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and it's cut off, or you have people that start to really connect with you. Hey, Mama Bear. Oh my gosh, you are too sweet. So, if you have people that, you know, might actually connect with you and have a lifelong friendship with, I say, fuck that. Fuck saying good, how are you? I mean, okay, if you're at the grocery store and it's like totally packed and you know that they've got to get through their line, okay, that's not the place to do that. But like, if someone's legit just like, oh, let's say grocery store's not busy, it's dead, you're the only one in line. Yes, how are you doing today? Don't just say good and how about you? Because they're gonna say good as well. Fuck that. Really think about it, and think about it before you get there, because you know they're gonna ask you and be like, just be honest. And for me, right now, what it is I'm okay. Been dealing with depression since I lost my job. And that might sound so silly, but I'm actually grieving that I lost my job. And it's true. Like, I am grieving the fact that I lost, like, maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe that's not the direction I should be. Like, all this self doubt. But then I'm also grieving that, oh, thank you, Mama Bear. You're amazing. But I'm also grieving, like, can I do this? Is this the right thing for me? Or am I just gonna fail again? Like, that is constantly hanging over my shoulder, and it can be scary to be like, nope, I'm gonna pursue this 100%. But I think also having an accountability buddy, which this is just becoming my accountability buddy to myself. It does. It definitely takes a toll on you. It was really hard because I worked in healthcare for insurance for Medicare. And so I didn't just feel like I let myself down, like, because I moved companies, and I moved to this company because I really felt like they cared about their employees, that they were like in it for them. And that's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to make like I want to make a difference in people's lives. I did. And then I felt like, no, I lied to all those people I talked to, told them that this company is fantastic, they gave me their trust, and I feel like I failed them. Yeah. And I'm gonna start crying. I don't want to cry. I just want to sip my bulletproof coffee with my Ron straw, okay? God damn it, green light journal. That's what I'm doing. But no, I'm not making anyone cry. That's not happening. It's not happening today. It just really sucks too. So I used to have a co-host, who was a good friend of mine. I have 2 podcasts, by the way. I have a Quest for Sanity, which is mental health, which I'm just talking on here. Oh my God, seriously? See, I feel like the elderly too, they get taken advantage of, and they're not. People just, push them aside. And honestly, a lot of them are so lonely too. Yeah, I learned a lot from working with Medicare. I'm so sorry about your ex. What did he do at your work? That's a whole nother thing too, is exes are abusive exes. Especially when you love it. I loved the work I did. I did. But now I feel like maybe I shouldn't have done it. But before all this, in 2019, constantly called and harassed me at work. It was nonsense. God. Well, and that's why he's an ex, right? I can't believe it cost you your job. Like, oh my God. Oh, such bullshit. But plus, that just causes like stress on you yourself. 7 years? Oh my God. See, that's hard too. Because I'm sure too, you had people in your life tell you this guy's, a piece of shit or whatever, you know? But at the same time, like, you don't want to say, you're right, or I failed again at another relationship, you know? Hey, I'm so glad that you're actually married and have someone that loves you now. Um, yeah, especially since you had 3 kids with them. That definitely makes a huge difference. Um, my ex was abusive to me too. And I had a kid with him, and my son was only like 2 months old. Okay, into a fight, and then he pushes me on the bed, and like, so my hands are like this. My son is on my arm right here. Okay, because he's laying on me. He's only a few months old, and he freaking punches, like, went to go hit me because my head was sitting here, Chris was sitting here, and he smacks my son instead. That moment right then, I was like, okay, I have been beaten and bruised by guys before, from stepdads, from all that. As soon as they hit my kid, though, I was like, oh, hell no. I mean, I was able to get out. Ran to the bathroom and called 911. And then, because my dad passed away at a young age, and I'm like, I want my son to still have a relationship with his dad, even though we're not together. You would smile in your mugshot if that happened. Yeah, and yours hasn't seen him in 4 years. Ugh, yeah. See, mine, that happened, and I still like pressed for him to have visitation rights. Right now, because my son was just months old, until he was a year, it was going to be visitational rights from either a police officer or my mom. And I had a protective order on him, but getting a protective order for a child is a lot harder. A lot harder. So he came. He saw him once. Super Bowl Sunday for like 10 minutes. I was upstairs the whole time. He came, and then my mom went to the bathroom. And when she came back, my son was on the floor crying. Haven't seen him since. No cards, nothing like that. He does occasionally. I fully blocked him now, but he used to occasionally like message me on Christmas and stuff and tell me what a horrible mother I am. So there's that. Oh, oh. Plus him and his mother, um, tried to kidnap him. So after that whole deal, like, he left, whatever. He's like, I just want to meet up and talk. Let's just talk this over before our next court date. Fine, whatever. And then he's like, I'm going to pick you up. And he's like, then I'll drop you off at night. And I was like, fine, okay. But it was late. Chris was already asleep. And he was asleep on the couch. And he was like, he's like, let's, how about you just stay here for the night? Okay? He, in the middle of the night, takes my son, meets his mom at the airport, and both of them try to fly to California. Before that too, because I was over there for one night. I was like, all right, yeah, whatever, fine. And then he wouldn't take me home after that. Like, he had my phone, he wouldn't let me on the computer. We were fighting back and forth for, it was almost a week. And then in the middle of the night, he gets up, takes my son, and he meets his mom at the airport and tries to take him to California. Because the rights here in Utah are the parent that has him gets him until court's all taken care of. Here's the thing. Dumbass wouldn't sign the birth certificate. We weren't married. He wouldn't sign the birth certificate, claimed it wasn't his. So they get to go to the plane. Yeah. And they get to go on the plane. And he doesn't have the birth certificate. So they hold him. As soon as I wake up, I remember it was early, but it was like 6, but obviously they were already gone by that time. They had left his car seat here, which was weird. His car was gone. And I called 911. I went to a neighbor's house that was next door to him. Oh, that happens. Get back. Is that gone? Should be, right? Maybe. About a minute. 30 seconds, something like that. All right, well, I'm waiting for, yeah, okay. Okay, yay, you're back. So they held my son at the airport because he didn't have a birth certificate. Because he wouldn't sign anything. Because he claimed the boy wasn't his in the first place. And I haven't seen him since then. Neither has my son. He hasn't wrote, no cards, no birthday. Only thing that he has done is write me on Facebook once in a while on Christmas, telling me what a horrible mother I am. So. Yeah. Gosh, I didn't know I was going to go on this when I was doing this journal. I'm doing the Green Light Journal by Matthew McConaughey. I haven't read his book, but this journal seemed like interesting, and I was like, I can do it while I'm live. I can actually do it while like talking, and then I actually get, more true feelings out. Sometimes it's hard for me to write, but then I'm more accountable because like I feel like, okay, I'm talking to other people about it. But yeah. My youngest is now 6 months old. She's now 5 and doesn't know him. My husband is her dad, if you ask. Well, that's how it is with me and my husband. My husband actually was able to adopt my son when he was 3. I met him when my son barely turned 2. And yeah, a lot of people are going to call this like, well, that was quick. And yeah, it was. But we basically lived with each other as soon as we met each other. Basically, I had my own place, but I was basically living at his place, even when he was at work. And when I was at work, he was watching my kid, and I'd go to work. Like, we'd swap. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard doing it's hard because, like, you don't see each other. But yeah, that's what we did for a long time. And my son, 100%, is like, no, dad's my dad. We thought for a long time, I wasn't sure if I was going to tell him about my ex. But they were talking about it on the radio. So they were talking about adoption and stuff on the radio. I don't know if he really meant it, like, or if he was joking around. But he's like, Mom, am I adopted? And then I was like, yeah, you are. So you're working on it right now. So you're trying to get your husband to adopt your daughter. There were some things that I thought was supposed to there's things that I thought that we were going to have to do, and that it was going to be a pain in the ass and we wasn't going to sign birth rights and shit, but it was a lot simpler than we thought. But that's because my ex didn't sign the birth certificate, so it made it very easy. I thought it was going to be harder than that because, like, they're like, well, did you prove paternity? I'm like, yeah, like, I've proven that he is the father, like, sperm donor, whatever the fuck you want to call him. But but it was a lot easier for me. I thought it was gonna be harder. I haven't talked to like 3 or 4 lawyers before we were able to. Did your ex sign like birth certificate? Were you married? Probably depends on your state too. Okay. But yeah, my son asked, like, did he sign the paternity though? Okay, so this is different. A paternity paper is different than a birth certificate. I didn't realize this either. Paternity says I'm going to take care of them, child support, all of that. Did you go to court and have all of that figured out?
It can be different in different states.
I know. Yeah, it can be different, like, in different states. It's an easy process for you. Okay, awesome. She's got 3 kids, and her ex hasn't seen them in 4 years.
Sad.
Huh?
That's sad. Mm-hmm. For the kids.
Never been to court. He didn't want custody when we split. I don't even know if he needs to sign anything then. Depends on your state, probably. But yeah. Wow. It ended up being like, we found out, we did it in what, like 2 weeks? As soon as we got a good lawyer, and our lawyer did it for dirt cheap because he's like, I just deal with divorces all the time. He's like, I'm happy when I get to do these. So. But my son asked one day, he's like, yeah, Mom, am I adopted? And I was like, yep, told him. He knows everything, like everything. We decided we were gonna be open and honest, and he has to sign this right. So if that's what you want to call it, technically he has no rights because we're gonna have a right. I'm a Tennessee. Okay. Yeah, see, I thought my ex was gonna have to sign and that was gonna be a pain in the ass. But here, because he didn't sign, it didn't even matter if he signed the birth certificate or not. It was like sign a paternity paper. That's why here in Utah we were able to, because he didn't sign that. He technically was never on the birth certificate, nothing like that.
I'm on the birth certificate.
Yes, you are. My husband's on the birth certificate now. But oh, I battled back and forth with myself that I was gonna tell him like who my ex was and stuff, and then I just decided, you know what? Let's just be open and honest about everything. So we are. And I've even flat out asked him now that he's 12. Do you have any interest in talking to him, seeing him? And he's like, no, why would I? Dad's my dad. I'm like, all right. That answers that. Yeah. Yeah. I've shown my son like all the pictures and documentation, his jail stuff, like all of it. So if you're in the process right now, and if he does have to sign his rights over or whatever, having a hard time trying to find him. Oh, okay. You're amazing. You know that? Okay, yay. I was saying, so if you know he has to sign his rights away, like, are you in the process of trying to do that? Are you having a hard time finding him? I'm actually a pretty good detective. As much as I can online, and then if you're not local, so I can't actually find him, but I can figure out where he potentially lives and works and all that. Finding him, not really. I know all of his hiding spots and crap. Yeah. Gotcha. I like this in this journal here. It has a few quotes apparently from the book. I have never read the book. I started to this morning a little bit on audio. He's 5 minutes away from you. Seriously. And he like doesn't even care. How how can people do that? Like when I was dating, I dated a guy too who his ex up and left, him and his daughter. I'm like, how can you do that? And I also am curious, did the same thing happen to him as a kid? Mine are too. 100%. They are like my everything. And I ask, did it happen to him too? Or did his parent do that to someone else? Because my ex's dad left, it was either one or two kids, and just never saw them again. Yeah, I talked about it a few times. He's like, yeah, I haven't seen my son in like 18 years, 19 years. And I'm like, and then you could have a marriage with someone else and raise another child and just think that's okay. You can raise another family, not see your other kids, claim you don't have any responsibility. You're like, I gotta just reboot. It's not a fucking video game. I sure as hell act like it is. Like, Jesus. I don't care. I don't care if you're the man or the woman. Or are they them. I don't freaking care. I don't know how humans can do that. I get it. Like, I've had this conversation with people before, and they're like, well, this animal does it all the time. And when they're young, they just like leave them up. Okay, we're not fucking animals. We're goddamn human beings. And do you feel like, because okay, so it didn't happen to him. He was the one that was raised, right? My ex was the one that was raised with his dad that left to those other kids. Does that like give you a reason or self justification? My dad did it, so I can too. And then those people that have had a parent leave them. And I'm even talking about leave this earth and didn't mean for it to happen because my dad passed away when I was 9. If you've had a parent pass away, leave you, walk out, whatever, how can you do that to a child? Okay, I mean, for God's sake, even if, say, my nephew was in a thing, whatever, where let's say both of his mom and dad, they're split, but let's say both parents, my sister and my ex-brother-in-law, didn't want him. You're fucking kidding me? Hell yeah, I'm gonna fight for rights for him. Goddamn right. And then we have this foster system that's so fucked up. Don't even get me started on that. One thing Now I'm just going off, but why not? Because it just came to my mind. One thing that pisses me off, okay? My son was having a really rough time, especially like right after COVID. You know, hadn't seen friends in forever and just locked up and right before then, right before COVID, he was in and out of the hospital for 3 months. And he came back and his friends made friends with other people. They didn't get along. They were all his new friends were picking on him. He was having a really, really mentally tough time. We took him to, like a really tough time. Like saying at a 10-year-old saying he's gonna kill himself. Jumping on tables, screaming, throwing shit. I knew something was, more than just me wrong. I knew something, like, I was like, okay, obviously we've got to change something here. Him and my husband were always fighting. That didn't help the situation. He's getting F's in school. That didn't help the situation. He's complaining about bullies at school. We talked to the school. School says they're going to fix it, and then they don't. We take him to a therapist. And the therapist says, hey, one thing, a lot of people come to me. Yeah, sorry. Okay. All right. Okay, so the therapist told us, he's like, one thing, when people come to me, they expect me just to fix their child. And that's not going to happen. Like, and he's like, I want to thank you guys for being so supportive in this. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, honestly, when you have a child that is acting out, not only does the child need help, but you need help on figuring out the right way to react. Like, so my husband's done a lot of work. It took a while. He's also dealt with like addiction and stuff. And I did some work on myself, and that therapy really helped. And then he had a teacher that was really kind and said, hey, I notice and I think your son has ADHD. Never thought about it before. I grew up in a household where you didn't take meds unless you absolutely needed to. You didn't even take Tylenol unless something was really wrong. I didn't get on anti-anxiety medication until after my daughter was born. She's 8 now. And I had severe anxiety to the point I would check the door 7, 8 times a night just to make sure that I locked it. And like, okay, ADHD, okay. Took him to our doctor. Hey, our therapist thinks he has ADHD. Fill out a form. I have PTSD too. And I can see this. I've been really, really, really deep depressed before, so I know the signs. But I know I have been a little bit lately, like having some of the depression signs too. But we took him to the doctor. And I feel when I'm sitting there and I'm filling it out with him, I've always included him. I've always tried to make him feel like, you know what, this is his decision too. Um, I'm going through the checklist. And I asked my doctor, I'm like, is ADHD hereditary? And he's like, absolutely. I'm like, oh, fuck. I have ADHD too. I scored higher than he did. We get him on his medication. And then we also have a 504 plan for disabilities at his school. And this makes it so that, the teachers have to do certain stuff, and like he has a folder he has to bring home every day, and then we have to check it off, and the teachers will sign it and everything like that, right? Well, we have stinking science teacher that will do the bare minimum, and she does not believe that ADHD exists, basically. I'm like, you're a science teacher. And he was having such a hard time in school. And then he comes to us and tells us that I've been asking him, like, hey, why don't you have your friend come over that's been your friend for a while? And I haven't seen him over for a while. And he's like, no, I don't want to hang out with him. He didn't want to go to his birthday party. I knew something was up. I was like, okay, I'm not going to make you go, but did you guys have a fight or something? No, nothing's wrong. At the end of the year, he comes to me. Turns out, during science class, in the back of the class, my son was sexually assaulted by this boy. During class. I immediately called police when I find out. And I call his school principal. And all she had to say was, I'm sorry he felt like he couldn't come to me and tell me. Why do you think that he would be able to come to you and tell him when he's told you before that he's getting picked on in school, and you claim you're going to do something about it, you don't do anything about it, and why would he think that this is any different? Like, so we decided to take him out of that school. And we put him in another school. Didn't know if anything was going to change. I no idea. And I mean, too, at that time that all this was happening, I didn't know that that was happening at school. But he was begging me, Mom, please, can we just do online school? I'm like, no, bud, you're getting F's and D's. You're fourth grade, fifth grade at this time, like when this was happening, and you're getting F's and D's, you can't have the luxury of doing online school. No. I didn't know all this shit was happening, though. I mean, I knew about the bullying. I thought that they were taking care of it. We'd talk to him every day, and it's hard too. Like, his sister goes to the same school, but we pulled him, and he's in a new school. He's in a charter school. And their main focus at that school is, we want you to tell us why you think the way that you do. Not, here's the material, this is how it is, and that's it. This kid is a totally different kid now. Granted, he misses his ADHD medication, though. Normally a day, he's fine. But if he misses it like 2 days in a row and stuff, he can start acting like a little a-hole. But now that we've got the meds figured out, he's got friends at this new school. He says he loves his teachers. Like, before he was like, I hate science. When I knew that wasn't true, he'd come home and has a fucking microscope and is looking at bugs through it and like getting dog fur and looking, through it on the microscope. I know he loves science. I know he loves history. He talks about World War II and III all the time. And he claimed that he didn't like, oh, I like basketball, but I just want to play by myself. Now that he's in a school that he has friends at and that the teachers actually give a shit and they're nice to him, he loves science. He told me yesterday he loves PE, which very surprised me. He's getting all A's and B's. It is crazy to me that the little acts and just a little bit of tweaking can make a huge difference in someone's life. One thing that pisses me off, though, is when people give up on their kids. I've already dealt with this. But when I was 12 to 14, well, no, wait, it was 13 to 15. Yeah, 13 to 15. My mom put me in a rehab for kids that did drugs. I had never touched drugs in my life. Actually, I didn't even smoke weed until it was legal in California. But she put me in a rehab there. She told me she paid about, and this was years ago, $1,200, $1,300 a month for me to be there. I had so much PTSD. They make you can't wear any makeup. You get punished when you look at boys. So I don't know too if my lack of eye contact, like some people are like, are you autistic because you don't really have eye contact with people? I don't know if I don't know, or if it's just trauma response. Like I got in trouble all the time for looking at a boy. Couldn't wear makeup. You had to have your hair slicked back. No flyaways, no nothing. And a ponytail. Just last year, I started putting my hair back in a ponytail. I had PTSD so damn bad from it. And the thing is I didn't do any of the drugs or anything. And people just kept calling me a liar and calling me, saying that I am in denial. No, I wasn't in denial. I didn't fucking know. So I'd listen to all these stories. And yeah, and I came out and I talked about my stepdad's abuse, sexual and physical, all that. I got labeled as sexaholic. I had never had sex with anyone else besides being sexually abused at that point in life. And I got labeled a sexaholic. But really, I felt like my mom gave up on me. Because I was in there for 2 years. And I legit started making up stuff about myself just to try to get to a higher tier so that I can leave. I heard so much stuff that I don't even know if I should have been hearing at that young age. I learned what all the drugs are way more than I ever did in DARE. And so I started putting together all of these made up stories that I did drugs. And then I had to apologize to my family once a week over it and like have a confession once a week. So if I didn't do that, I couldn't progress. So I had someone, when my son was freaking out, tell me, you should just let the state take him. Like, and there are other houses or whatever that are meant to deal with this. And this was coming from someone who has an autistic son who this boy raped another boy on the bus at 10 years old. And that's what they did. And I was like, I'm not gonna give up on my child. I'm not gonna do that. Like, plus this boy has come out and said, my dad has sexually assaulted me. I'm sorry, when any kid says that, you need to believe them. But now he's 15 in a home. He's been to a few different homes that apparently has 15 of these kids because they took an online course to deal with kids like this. And they have 15 kids now in their home, and then they get paid by the state. But this kid now, and he has visitations to go see his family like once a week. And now his family threatens, you're not good, we're going to take you back. Like, how fucked up more are you making this kid? And he's doing good now. He's got all A's and B's. And the thing is, though, it pisses me off, I think, the most is that his mom and dad don't publicly acknowledge his other family. Like Facebook, Instagram, nothing like that. They just take pictures, you know, during Christmas, during holidays. Oh, look, we're perfectly happy and fine. Bitch, please. I mean, give some recognition to them. Be like, oh my God, I am so thankful for this family because they have helped him out so much. And I'm not going to name drop them, but that's what I'm getting at, though, is it was an online course that they took to deal with this. You're telling me that you couldn't have taken an online course and helped your son out? I don't blame it. I don't believe it. All right, I'm reading another quote, and then I've got to go and wash my car. Try to think. Red lights and green lights tell us to stop and go. The art of living is the yellow light. We have choices. Will you put the pedal to the metal or slow down and stop? I like it. Okay. I'm going to try to do this some more. It's good therapy for myself. I like it too. Thanks for coming on. Okay, first of all, Mama Bear, you're amazing, and it was nice talking with you too. And personally, how the hell are you not the owner of that Discord?